All right, quick look at the SPY before we get into the watch list video for Wednesday, October 19th. The SPY's back up in this range, but I've been talking about it feeling kind of heavy, and most times when it gaps up, it's closing below its open, kind of hovering above support here. So, as long as there's no shock events, we can just continue to trade the way we trade, which is finding the stocks that should move those days and trading them accordingly. I got a few examples before I go into the watch list, just to give you an idea of what we do in the chat room. OPTT was on the watch list video, and I called it long this morning. It opened, sold off, and as it started to come back up, I called it long right around 340, 341. Look what happened. Got a quick move to over 380. Really nice way to start the day. Switch to 5-minute candles here. So you can see, again, just an example of the low-risk setup, right? We got long right here. Worst case stop was going to be about a dime. We got a really nice move. BSPM was another one. Go to 5-minute candles. It looked like this when I pointed it out to the room. I said this could work over 370. Worst case stop would be about 12 cents below. Look at that. Just ripped. So very tight stop. Focusing on the right stocks. The low float, low price stocks with the proper setups can be extremely rewarding. Also called ABEO, over this little flag. Over this little flag in the afternoon. I called it at 712. Worst case stop 699. Look what happened. Goes all the way up to 8, almost up a buck on a $7 stock. So those were 3 highlights from today. I'm not even getting into Oki's oil calls. He's kind of our oil baron in the room. But this is sort of my niche. These lower priced, low float stocks. Those are the ones that I make my money off of, but Oki does really, really well on the oil stocks. But on the results page, I just try to put 1 or 2 highlights every day because I really enjoy having my evenings freed up a bit until I have to put together a watch list. So I don't want to spend the evening going through all the chat calls and formulating 20 results from the day. So I just throw a couple highlights up there, but I can also use these videos to show you, the kinds of setups we look for, and they're always very tight stops and very high probability setups. For me, it's all about the timing on the entry, okay? Just real quick, go back to OPTT. Let me try to type it right this time. The timing on the entry to me is everything, because if you time your entry right, okay, you get long right here and immediately it pops. What can you do? You can start selling some, and you have what I call already, like within minutes, you have a can't lose trade. I tell everybody in our chat room and the people that take our course, the only reason I trade is to make money, right? So if I'm red in a stock, in other words, my thesis didn't pan out immediately, I'm just back out. Might be a 2, 3, 5 cent loss, right? I don't log in and trade every day to lose money. I log in to make money, okay? So if I'm red even for a few seconds, my thesis was wrong. I just get back out. There's always going to be other setups. So that's my trading philosophy in a nutshell. RLJE goes on the watch list for tomorrow. It gapped up and then right back into support 2 days. And this was getting a little after hours activity. I don't know if it had news or not, but it closed at 204. I saw it trading around 220 in after hours. So that's definitely worth watching tomorrow. They had news, nice news a couple days ago. So it definitely goes on watch. HTGM also had nice news and ran all the way to 440, about 5 sessions ago, and is literally round tripped. Now, I don't love it. Well, that's not fair to say because it closed this day at 226 and now it's at 263. So really, you still don't have a round trip, but from the gap up, the low of that day, it's almost round tripped. Having said that, it's much cheaper now than it was a few days ago when people were buying it like crazy at 420, right, on an intraday basis. So it might, the crowd might finally say, you know what, this has come back down far enough. We might get a nice bounce tomorrow. Remember BSPM? I just showed it to you, but it's kind of the same thing, right? BSPM had this big pop, and I had it on watch going into today, right? And it almost round tripped, and look at that nice move today, right? So it does not hurt to have these on watch. We only take them with a proper setup. NSPR, a little reticent to put this on the list, but I did anyway. Nice narrow range today. 151,000 shares traded today. You had a nice 3-day move. You got like a 3 or 4 day pullback, but the volume's decreasing. It hasn't completely round tripped. So if this turns back up tomorrow, maybe gets a little volume coming in, might give a nice percentage gain. I never even came close to trading it today because, as I said, they have to meet my meet my parameters, and It just didn't come close to anything. BSPM, the third time in this video I'm showing it, because it closed about in the middle of its range tomorrow, but with that huge move it made today, absolutely goes back on watch tomorrow. RTTR, nice volume spike today. Thinner stock, low float, had a nice spike back here, went all the way to 240. Basically revisited that area, but closed strong. So this one might have a follow-through day tomorrow. So I want to watch RTTR. SPEX, I'm not sure what's going on here, but it had a nice volume spike, kind of broke out of a tight range. Maybe a red to green, maybe a follow-through day in that one tomorrow. And then lastly, CTRV. As a trader, I look at this and think I really don't want to get involved yet. I feel like it needs to come in a few days, right? Because it's just so far from the moving averages. But today was an inside day, inside of yesterday, and closed above its open. So it's like sellers still aren't able to push this down. So I say this all the time. It doesn't cost me anything to have it on a chart. So it might just give us a clean setup tomorrow. That's it. Pretty small list. And we'll also look for gappers in the morning as well. One quick reminder, and I'll put the link in the description to this video down below on YouTube. Let's see, today's Tuesday. Wait, yeah, today's Tuesday. On Thursday at 8:30, we have a webinar. Wayne and I put the class on together. Our next class is December 3rd, but we're doing a free webinar on Thursday at 8:30 to talk about the importance of tracking your trades. But not only that, and it should be like a short 30-minute presentation. We're not going to talk your ears off, but after that, we are going to take any questions you guys have about day trading or our style of trading, the course, the chat room, you name it. Anything trading related, we're going to do a little Q&A afterwards, so it doesn't have to be about tracking your trades. It doesn't have to be about the presentation material. I'm done babbling. Enjoy your evening. We'll talk to you tomorrow.